Welcome back to Havron Excel tutorial. My name is Samson Enelike, and today we'll be discussing some very important topics. We'll be looking at VLOOKUP function, if function, and function, or function, and then pivot charts. This video is going to come in parts because we will be doing short videos of them. The first video will be talking about these two, VLOOKUP function and if function. The next video will look at and all functions. And then finally, the third video, we will look at pivot charts. Now, to help us discuss these functions and really understand how to apply them in our work, we have a question, some set of questions here that will help us do so. Okay, so this is a table of employees in an organization. And this table is arranged in tables. It's arranged in header tables. Here we have the names of the employees. In column B, we have the teams they belong to. We have the state where they oversee, or they cover. We have the associated region. Then we have the dates that they made their transactions. We have the column for the products which they transacted. We are going to have profits. We are going to look at the commission. And then the points. These points are actually based on the commissions made. Then this total bonus is a product of the commission and the points. And then we are going to impute also their modes of travel. And their mode of travel are based on certain criteria set out here. Okay, so in mini table 1, we have the state, we have the region, we have the product. So with this information, we are expected to fill this table. For instance, where we see Niger, we are expected to fill the region that Niger fits into. Looking at this mini table 1, Niger falls into North Central. All right, so we are supposed to use a function in Excel to fill this. And this should not take us less than a minute. And by the way, we have over 1,600 entries. So we want to see how fast we can command Excel fill this off, and then what functions can we employ to get this done? All right, so let's start going into the problem. The problems are here. Number 1, we are supposed to populate the table using the details in the mini tables. Like I explained, these are the mini tables, 1, 2, 3. Of course, at the extreme end here, we have a commission which is defined by 1% of profit. Okay, so that means when we get this profit, we should be able to calculate the commission based on this information given. Right. Number 2, we are supposed to identify the different modes of travel for each staff. When we look at this mode of travel here, there are certain criteria, like this one, Benz, and greater than 3 points, then the person will travel by business class flight. Okay, and then number 3, we are supposed to visualize the total points made by each team. Number 4, we visualize total points made from each product. Number 5, we visualize state performance on profits. Number 6, we visualize the top 10 performing employees. All right, so let's see how Excel is going to help us achieve this. So like I say, the functions that we are going to look in this first video are the VLOOKUP function and the if function. So how do we go about this? We have over 8,600 records, and we're supposed to do this in a very short time. So let's see if V function can help us do this. V function can be likened to a directory where you want to look for somebody's detail. You first of all go to the page where the person's name is listed. The person's name must or should be listed in alphabetical order. Then when you hold the name there, you look on that row. You see the details associated with that person. And then you go to a column. If you're looking for the telephone number, you go to the telephone number column. If you're looking for the email, you go to that email column. That is what VLOOKUP does. Right now, we are going to employ VLOOKUP to search inside this table and isolate wherever he sees these names, and then he should drop the associated details here. This is going to be like our directory, and then we are going to look at these states. We are going to say, wherever you see Niger in this table, look on so and so column and put the value you see there. All right. So let us assign the regions for each of these states. So we are going to say VLOOKUP. Every function in Excel has on-screen tip. So this is giving me tips. It's asking me what lookup value am I looking for? I'm looking for Niger. I am done with that. He said, in which array, in which table array am I looking for it? I said, good. I'm looking for it in this mini table 1. And because this is selected within a very large spreadsheet, I'm going to lock it because I'm going to make an absolute reference to it. I am done with that. So it's asking me the column index. That is, if it comes to this point and is able to locate Niger, which column of this table am I interested in? Well, since I'm looking for region, region is in column 2, because this is the first column where what we're looking for is found. Next column, which is column 2, is our region, and we're interested in region. So I put 2 here. I authorize it, and it says, the next thing is asking me, do I need an approximate match to what I'm looking for, or I am looking for an exact match? Of course, I'm looking for a text field, and so it has to be exact match. So I click exact match, I close my brackets, I enter. It's telling me that Niger is not central. So that's great. Now, if I now run this down through to the very end by just double clicking, and it gets down, see, everything 1,650 is filled up just with a click, and in less than 2 or 3 seconds, it's done. So all my fields for my region is filled. Good. So next is for me to come to date. Now, by the way, this entry was made between 2019 and 2020 January. So we are going to randomly assign dates. And I'm not going to be typing throughout the entire 8,600 records. I'm going to use the Excel function. So I am going to use what is called rand between. So I'm going to generate a random number. I'm going to generate random numbers. It's asking me what is the bottom and what is the top. And because we are dealing with date, so I'm going to also bring in a date function. Now remember that we are looking at, see now, for this random, we are looking at the bottom. So when I begin with the date, I'm going to also mention the bottom date. And for my date, I've been asked for year. I'm interested in 2019. That is my bottom year. What is is my bottom month? January. What is my bottom day? 1st. Right? I am done with the first upper date. It's still selling bottom because I have not confirmed it. So I confirmed that by putting a comma. Then it says, what is the top range of my value that I want? Well, for my top value, I also need to include my date function. So well, since we are looking at 2020 becomes my top. What is the month? Let me look for December and 31st, right? So this is done. That is for dates. Good. I close the bracket for my round between, and this gives me this. Now I double click. I fill the entire record down to over 1,000. By the way, I can hit my control and downward arrow to get to the very bottom of my table. Control upward arrow takes me back to the top. Great. Now, the next thing is to look for the products. My products are here, and these products are unique to each region. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Excel, hey, use VLOOKUP and look for this south-south. Wherever you see south-south, just impute Toyota. Wherever you see northeast, impute this. So I'm still going to use my VLOOKUP. This is my VLOOKUP. And then what product am I looking for? Remember that I am going to search for south-south so that it can return the product for me. So I have my region here. So I say I'm looking for this. It's asking me in which table array. I am looking for this now. Now you see, I did not choose from here because what we are looking for is in north, is under region. And what you are looking for in a directory must be the first thing on the first column. That's why I'm not selecting this state. So I'm selecting from region and then this. And because I want to lock this, I'm making an absolute reference to this table. I'm going to hit my F4 to lock it. Now it's asking me what column index. In this table, I'm looking for 2. So if you get my region, give me the value you find in column 2. So I'm going to write 2 as to column 2. I am done with that. So it's asking me, do I need an approximate match or exact match? Of course, my products are text, so I need an exact match. So I double click that, and this enters. And then it tells me that North Central, the predominant product there is Honda. Now let's see, North Central. Okay, I have North Central here, I have North Central here. So because there are 2 of them, it's going to give anyone that is fault fine. Now, let us change this and say, okay, because we have the states that are specific, let us not use the region. Let us rather use the state. So I come back to my function. I double click. What I am looking for is what I had imputed here was D, but I want to use C now. So I can simply click here and write my C. Okay, this is C now. Okay, let me just delete this and then click C. Great. Now, what table am I looking for now? Remember that we have changed our search from region to state. So my table array is going to start from the state now, right? So I'm going to highlight all of this. Now, this is highlighted now. I am going to redefine my table array. So I'm going to click here and bring this. Now, having done this, my column index is going to change. The product is 3. Okay, it's no longer 2. So I simply put 3 here. And of course, I still need an exact match. I enter. And I have Lexus. So you see, Niger is associated with Lexus. So when I double click here and it goes down, let's see what happens here. This is Volkswagen for Borno. Borno is Volkswagen. Now, what happens to Kia? Kia is Gombe. This is this. Now, what happens to, why am I having this not available, not available? The reason is because we did not lock our table. We did not lock this table here, right? So you see, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. This is my table array. So I'm going to lock it. That is where I'm going to be picking from. So I've locked from D2 to F8. This is my D2 here to F8. So I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to repeat this, a flash fill downward, and I get the correct answer, correct entries for every one of them. This is great. Now let's look at the profits. We are going to randomly assign profits. And let's get numbers between 8,000 and 10,000. Okay, so let's say this is run between, remember the function that we use in getting the dates. So my function is bottom is 1,000 and the top is 10,000. Well, I think this profit looks small. So let's increase the bottom to, let's say 50,000 and 100,000. Great. So I hit it. Now I double click this and I get the same random number randomly generated for all my 8,600 records. Great. Now, what is the commission? The commission is defined by this criterion here. They say it is 1% of your profit. So 1% is the same thing as 0.01. So I'm going to be making an absolute reference to this point. So I say here is going to be this times this. And because I will be making absolute reference to this, I'm also going to lock that. Enter. Right? I double click. That feeds down to the rest. Now, what is my point? My point is defined by here. Say, if you get 0, your point is 0. If you get 200, you get 1. If you get 400, you get 2 points. Because I need these 2 points to calculate my total bonus. My total bonus is a product of this and this. Okay, so I need to, first of all, get my points. I am also going to use VLOOKUP. All right, so let me put this VLOOKUP. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this value. In which table array? I'm looking for it in this table array. Remember that what you are looking for is the first on the table array. Great, so my commission is here. Okay, so I am going to lock that again so that I won't run into that same problem we did. Here, I'm done. So we say if he gets this value in this column, what record, what value are you looking for? That value in what column? I'm looking for the column in 2. This is 1, this is 2, okay? So it's 2. Confirm that. So it's asking me, do you need an approximate match? Yes, of course, because sometimes your value might not exactly match anyone here. So let Excel give us an approximate value, right? Approximate match. Okay, so I use this, I hit enter, and then I get 4. Now let's look at this. This is 944, which is between 800 and 1,000. So it has given us an approximate. Okay, so when we hit this downwards, it gives us different values based on the different commissions that we have. Great. Now, my total bonus is going to be a function, which is product. I'm going to use product. Of course, we know product is multiplication of 2 or more items. So I am going to hit this, doing this, and then I am done with this. This is great. All right, so we have briefly looked at how VLOOKUP function can help us extract details from other tables and fit into our tables that we are working. So this is a very great feature. I want people using Excel to understand that this feature will help you to improve your efficiency and productivity at work. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.